Hey, this is Walt with Ray Buck Auto Body Parts. Today I want to show you a quick little thing that I did with the valve covers on the Chevy pickup. In one of our previous videos, when we got the motor in, we realized that the brand new aluminum tall valve covers I got for the motor were not going to work. In these four-wheel drive trucks, the motor sits back practically against the firewall, so once those tall valve covers went on, they just weren't going to fit. So after a couple trial and error with some old valve covers we had laying around, I finally decided to use the stock valve covers. The one problem with the stock valve covers is there's no holes in them. There's no holes for breathers, PCVs, oil fill, anything. The older V8s had either the vent in the front of the intake or in the back of the block, or both, and they didn't have any vents in the valve covers. So I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do this. There's a number of ways you can do it. You can buy like a screw-in type breather. You could weld tubes onto them. There's just a number of ways. There's bolt-on ones. I had the valve I had the breathers laying around, so I figured I would just put a hole in them, put the breather in. But the one problem I ran into is when you look at this grommet. These are made for a thicker valve cover or a stamped valve cover. The stamped valve covers, actually, when they make them, they roll this edge over so it fills this gap in the grommet. If you're drilling out a stock valve cover, then you basically have the thickness of the metal, and that's it. So when you put this grommet in, it's kind of loose in there. It doesn't want to fit in tight. And the other mistake I made was this is basically a 1 1/4 inch grommet on this inside portion here. So I drilled the valve cover for 1 1/4, but when I put my breather in, it was practically falling out. The way these work is you have to undersize the hole, so when the grommet goes in, it has a little bit of tension there, so when the breather pushes in, it has some resistance there and holds it tight. But I was trying to figure out what I could do to fill this gap. I thought about welding, like a big washer on the back, or, I don't know. I came up with various different ways to do it. But ultimately what I did was I just flipped the valve cover over, and I don't know if you could see it, but I just started laying some weld in there. I drilled the hole first. As I said, it was a little too big, so putting the weld in there actually helped tighten everything up a little bit. But I just kept going around with the MIG welder, putting a little bit of weld, letting it cool, go around, till it's, I don't know, I'm sure it's uneven. I tried to grind it down a little bit, and I'm going to clean that up a little bit more. But there's maybe an 1/8 inch there, which is enough. It just gives the grommet something to kind of bite onto, and I'll show you how that fits now. So as you can see, the grommet does fit tight. You kind of have to compress it a little bit to get it in there, as I'm trying to do it with one hand. So the grommet goes in, and it fits in there good. Backside, you can see it's not perfect, but at least there's something there now. If I wanted to, I could probably go around another pass or so, add more weld. But so we got that in, and now you can see our grommet is nice and snug. I gotta, push on that pretty good, just like I would with any other valve cover, and there you go. So we're gonna take these valve covers, clean them up a little bit, paint them satin black to match the breather, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So just thought I'd show you this. Wasn't really sure how I was going to do it, and this is what I ended up doing with it. quick, easy way and a cheap way, if you're on a budget, to modify your valve covers for breathers. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate it.